What's up, Tudorinos? Welcome back to the Game Addicts Podcast, a show where we talk about the modern and retro video games that we play and collect. I am this podcast player one, Brando, and joining me here today is this podcast player two, Mike.
Hello.
Hello once again, everybody out there. Of course, we are live on Twitch and our Facebook page. Thank you for everybody tuning in today. And of course, if this is your first time and you don't know that we stream every single Wednesday when we do the show, the podcast is up every single Thursday. On podcast services all around the globe. Check your favorite one for the Game Addicts Podcast. And if you want to see our beautiful faces and you missed us, of course, there's the VOD on Twitch, as well as our YouTube channel where we have everything. Our gameplay stuff, audio, video podcasts, everything there at Game Addicts Podcast. Mike, how you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Buddy, I'm tired.
10-hour days will do that to you.
Well, I mean, it's just a matter of fact that it was just like 50 hours complete last week. A very exhausting weekend emotionally. Because, I mean, physically, because, that's one thing. Work can be mentally and physically exhausting. And then you have such a, emotionally exhausting weekend with Avengers Endgame and then Game of Thrones on Sunday.
Yeah.
The whole, 82-minute glory that was Game of Thrones.
Yes.
We're still talking about the damn thing, and here we are. We're going on Thursday tomorrow.
Yeah.
And right now we're talking about how there are people who hate the episode. And be that as it may, if you want to hear me talk about that, check out Podcastrophe on I believe they're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. Check out there. They have a show called Game of King Chair, which I helped name that show. And I am going to be on that this week. I was on it last week as well, so we kind of did almost like a pool, who's going to live and who's going to die. Well, I'm going to be on again, of course, to discuss the Battle for the Dawn. Everyone's calling it Battle of Winterfell, and I'm like, Battle for the Dawn,
That's what it's called in the show, the Battle of Dawn.
Well, either way, it was a long night indeed. And it still feels like it's been a long night. It's been a long week. But as far as gaming goes, I kind of had to scrounge for some stuff that was eye-catching to talk about this week. I haven't been collecting any games. I've been playing. I really got a head start on Shadow of the Tomb Raider, like I said last week. And I've only played a little bit more. I haven't had a lot of time to play, of course, with all this overtime that we've been working. And
right.
I'm enjoying it. I'm liking the side stuff, too. It's like, hey, go over here to do your main thing, but you can get some side stuff to go do as well. It's kind of expanding just a little bit more. And, it takes that same formula that you've already experienced in the first two and kind of tries to expand it just a little bit more. And it's good. It's very good. I like it so far. And it unfortunately just got overshadowed. Yeah, man, well. What are you going to do when you release the same week as Spider-Man? It's just a bad time. It was a bad time. At least it wasn't exclusive this time.
Right.
Rise was exclusive for like a year, but dude, you just told me right before we got on the air, Epic Games acquired Psyonix. That was the developer of Rocket League.
Yep.
They own Rocket League now.
They're bringing it sometime this year.
So I looked up. Epic Games is acquiring Rocket League, and it says Epic Games. This is from our good friends at comicbook.com, owned by GameSpot. Epic Games has been stirring the pot of controversy lately, especially after they revealed their own Steam-like storefront. Of course, the Epic's Game Store. Has it been So much the fact that they have built their own store has gamers upset. But all the exclusives that they're raking in, including Borderlands 3, at least that one was announced well in advance. The
Yeah.
whole Metro Exodus thing was like, this game releases in 2 weeks. By the way, if you pre-ordered it on Steam, it's not going to be on Steam. It's going to be on our thing.
Right.
That was kind of, I didn't like that. Even though I didn't care, I have no chips in that pot. But I felt like if you are already, like if I'm the publisher, like I understand why they did it, but if I'm the publisher of Metro Exodus and like we're this close, I want to like fulfill my customers. I want to I don't want to pull the rug out underneath them and make them download another client if that's the case, but obviously they didn't care. But now they got Rocket League, and of course the other one they have is Division 2 is exclusive to Epic Game Store. And of course the PC version will come to Epic Game Store in late 2019. And in the meantime, it will continue to be available to purchase on Steam. Thereafter, it will continue to be supported on Steam for all existing purchasers. So if you've already bought the game on Steam, you're good. But after that, it'll be exclusive to the Epic Game Store on PC.
Right.
So that's good that you don't have to, go over if you already own the damn thing. So Epic Games, man. I know that they're online. There are some that don't care, and there's some that this whole exclusive thing. It's funny because exclusivity, if I can speak, used to be just a console thing. It's like, well, Days Gone just came out. It's only PS4, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to play that game, you got to get PS4. So like like the Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, we have better exclusives, and the PC guys were just sitting back going, whatever, man. But now there is, even though it's still on PC, it's all just about download clients because EA has Origin, and you have Steam, and now you have Epic Game Store. Of course, Ubisoft used to have Uplay. That was like their own thing, and
They still use it.
Do they still use it? Because you can download some Ubisoft stuff. Ubisoft.
Tom Clancy, The Division 2,
yeah.
also playable from Uplay.
Is it?
Yeah.
But because I know that they are no longer, you have to have Uplay to launch it. You can, like some of the Assassin's Creed and stuff. I think that's on Steam now. And then of course there was was it last year they had Odyssey on that Google Stream thing.
Yeah.
What became Stadia? But Mike, you're the PC guy.
Yeah.
Between us, I don't really give a crap about PC gaming. You're all about that life. What do you think about the Epic Game Store?
I think it's a wonderful thing. To be honest, I mean, I'm looking at the list of exclusives here, and there are a significant amount more. Detroit Becoming Human is going there. Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, they're all coming to Epic Game Store.
Mm-hmm.
The Sinking City, World War Z is exclusive there. Trying to see other ones.
Are you going to bed? Wow, 2 weeks in a row. We're talking about games. Yeah, we're talking about games. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Don't touch that. Did you come back to say goodnight?
Yeah, I just wanted to step away.
We're not gonna do that tonight, Bubba. Not tonight. Maybe next week.
But you're having that's Xbox.
Yeah, it is the Xbox. See, I'm training him good. He knows stuff. Anyway, I love you, dude. Come here. Give me some loving. I love you. You have a good night.
I have headphones.
I do. Yeah.
Good night, Daddy. Good night, Daddy.
Good night, buddy. He hasn't been very good today, so he's going to bed early.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple other ones like Super Meat Boy Forever.
Okay.
Some other ones, Dauntless in April. It says in April, but it doesn't have a date. I think I don't see it on here, but I mean, there's a lot coming here. Now Watch Dogs is on here.
Ubisoft, yeah.
they're picking up a lot of stuff. Like as you go scroll through this, Unreal Tournament's there now. I mean,
Think about this, okay? So Epic Games just acquired another developer.
right,
Epic Games in itself is a developer. Just like Valve owns Steam, and now you have a a store client and developer in Epic Games purchasing other developers. They're going to
right,
become another big publisher. They're going to use their profit that they're getting from the Epic Game Store. They're inserting themselves into the market and using these exclusives, making you and other people utilize the Epic Game Store to launch said games. Therefore, you're within their storefront and you're tempted to just buy games there. Even though Steam already has a built-in audience, they have more features. Yes, I get that. Things like that will come to the Epic Game Store, and the whole process will, the whole, experience will get better over time. Now, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Now, I did see a tweet. Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney, which I did not. Man, I totally just closed the window, so I'm just going to paraphrase it. He said that they would be willing to back off from the exclusivity thing if Steam were willing to match their like what they give the publishers. Match that 12% profit share, right?
yeah.
Because currently Steam does not, unless you, I'm not even
Go
sure,
to 10 million sales.
something like that, and that is a crap load.
Yeah,
Because just like I said, Shadow the Tomb Raider, it's a great game. I like it. It's awesome. It's not going to sell 10 million.
nope.
It just isn't. Okay, Red Dead Redemption. Okay, that's not even on PC.
Here's the deal though with that. How many times do you see these games go on sale? On Steam sales.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. All the time. So you're not, by the time you sell 10 million copies on Steam, your thing's down to $20. If you're a big title, unless you're Grand Theft Auto.
You're still, if you're
you're
a developer or publisher, you're going to be getting that number. Now, does that work per title, that deal, or is it just like when you reach that many sales per total? Like, say if me and you start releasing games and we release 3 games and those, like, we sold about 2 or 3 million a piece, and we edge and we get to that 10 million total, does the Game Addicts Game Addicts video game 1, 2, and 3, and we're now getting X amount of more profit share? Because
I'm looking.
I want to say it's got to be total, because if you're going to say that, like, well, after your title crosses 10 million, then you get more money. It's like, after that, most of the people who got it want it, or wanted it, now have it. So it's like, it's kind of defeats the purpose. That way, like, if it was total, like if we released 3 games and then our 4th game was going to get we were going to get a lot more from that. You know what I mean? It would encourage us to make another game after we crush that threshold.
Game.
Per game?
So normally Valve takes around 30% of all game sales on Steam, with some exceptions from games from smaller developers in the Steam Direct program. That will remain the case for the first 10 million in sales.
Per game.
Yeah. It says there's a new revenue agreement giving more money to game developers. Yeah, the first 10 million in sales a game publisher makes. For all sales between 10 million and 50 million, the split goes to 25%. And after every sale after the initial $50 million, by the way, dollars.
So this isn't copies, this is dollars.
This is dollars. Steam will take just a 20% cut.
So still not even as good as Epic.
And Epic's starting out that way.
Epic is starting out when you release your game there, you get, or they're only taking 12.
Yeah, and it said in 2007 Valve took 4.3 billion in Steam revenue alone, not including microtransactions and downloadable content. That's just base gains for everything.
Man.
$4.3 billion. And you're telling me you can't lower that down.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Amount of money. Like, unfathomable that you make that much per year. And all you've done is really made a really good hub. Now, I'm never going to argue that they have a really good hub, great community. That's what they have that everybody really likes is the community, the way that the Steam app flows is really nice. But at this point, I don't know. I mean, I think Epic Games is going to really hurt them, and we'll see that profit sharing significantly reduce, like 20% until the 10 million sales.
I have no doubt.
And then most people are going to, for that, most people will put it on Steam just because most gamers on the PC realm prefer Steam because you can have Reddit things inside of Steam. So in discussions and everything, and that's what people really thrive on because of the as long
integration,
as yeah. I mean, it's all there, readily accessible. So I don't know. I like Epic Games. I think it's wonderful because it's going to increase the amount of games we are going to receive because the companies are going to receive more money per title. That means that us as a consumer will see them put more titles out and they will increase the size of their studios. Therefore, we win in the long run. Steam has been uncontested for I don't even know how long they've been out and running. I have no idea. But they've been out and running alone for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Uplay and all that stuff is tried. They're not even close to what Steam has. So
well, that's also just the publisher exclusive,
right? Yeah,
like,
yeah,
to their games. All the EA stuff, all the Ubisoft stuff. You're not going to get any, third party stuff onto that.
But it's just such a huge platform to play on, and it like I said, it's a wonderful thing. I'm not knocking Steam whatsoever at all, but they could help out a little bit more.
Steam was first released in 2003.
So it's been around for what? 16 years,
yeah.
Uncontested.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's a time. It's time. It's a time. But I really like what they're with Epic Game Store is doing. I mean, it's pulling. It's saying, hey, look, we can do the same thing. Fortnite's made us a ton of money, so let's open up our own thing. Hey guys, 12% from day one. It never changes. It's 12%. Mm-hmm. That's what you get the day of release until forever, essentially, because the game will be on there and forever unless they take it down. I don't think they'll start taking games down. That's just me. But I mean, you look at this setup. I'm looking at the site, and there's just. I looked at it 2 weeks ago before I started playing Apex, and it's doubled what it's got in that short of amount of time. It's only going to keep getting bigger and keep getting bigger.
So, while you were talking, I did think of two other places where you can kind of buy games. It's not exactly the same as Steam, but there are like clients and storefronts like GOG.com
Right.
And then also Humble Bundle is now becoming,
Well, those actually are not a store. They're a storefront, but they're not the same style of storefront.
right.
So what they do is that you purchase them and they give you codes for Steam, or now will be Epic Games. So in theory,
They're not clients, but they're just storefronts.
it's not a client, but it's still
It's like buying a Steam code.
storefront.
It's like buying a digital code off of Amazon or something.
But you also have Kinguin. Kinguin does the same thing. Like I can log on to Kinguin right now and I can find Borderlands 3 pre-purchase sales that are lower than $60 for download only.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much where I buy a majority of like my software, if I'm going to buy it, is from there. Because it's cheaper. And it's a code. It's the same thing. It's a code. So, yeah, I mean, it's different, but they're not. They're a storefront for a storefront.
Right.
They give you codes to download from Steam, or like I said, now will be Epic Games eventually. So
you've been playing Apex.
I like it. So I hate, and I will thoroughly state this: I hate battle royale games. But Apex.
But is just a thing that says
I'm pulling
forget.
the Tyler. I'm pulling the Tyler.
I know
okay?
you are. But okay, so just out of context, on Facebook, I've become across a lot of crazy Dr. Phil videos, and it's been my entertainment randomly for the last couple weeks. And he said, "But" is basically saying, forget everything else I just said. But carry on.
Actually, I still hate the battle royale style of it. I don't like dropping in and being surrounded, and you're. I don't like that. I like to have a clear objective. It makes it strategically. It makes it easier for me. But the gameplay of that is phenomenal. The movement, the how smooth everything flows together is just amazing. I love it. I can't stop playing it. I still hate that the battle, like the other day I did really good, and then I'm like, cool, I'm going to walk over here. And within 3 seconds, I was 100% surrounded by like 3 different people. I'm like, cool. Or 3 different teams. Hey, Pad Food.
See, now your kid comes in to say hi.
Yeah, he does. But it's it's such great gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see this gameplay in like another shooter, like maybe a Star Wars shooter. We are doing a Jedi story. Why don't we do a Star Wars story with an outlaw?
Well,
that style of play.
No, well, I mean, it definitely could be possible. It definitely could be possible.
Could you think of a Han Solo game that plays so smooth, like you could slide and jump and do, you had all of his little super, like, little powers that he has and his weapon and blast. I mean, everything. You had everything, but it just plays so smooth, and then you just jump in a Falcon and fly around as well. That sounds phenomenal to me.
So, on PC, how are you playing Apex? Because you told me you had issues with the mouse.
I have issues with the mouse because I cannot find a setting, and I'm probably just stupid because I haven't looked so thoroughly at it. I have a very, 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 very sensitive mouse, and I play at max settings most of the time on the games that I play. Well, I didn't know that it multiplied the amount your mouse moves. So when you zoom in, it's times 3 of your actual speed that you've allowed your mouse to move left to right. That's a lot when you have it maxed out.
Mm-hmm.
And I had trouble. So I went to a controller and maxed the settings out. And also, the thing that I say that I'm stupid about is you right click, it zooms in and it will not zoom out. You have to click it again. I don't personally like that. I like to hold it down and shoot. That's how I play Star Citizen. So that's what I want. I haven't found a setting that will allow me to do that specifically. I can change which one does it. so I can make like A, but I don't want to make A my zoom. So I use a controller. I do fairly well. So I know, like, if I ever did something big and went to a tournament or something, they would all make fun of me because I use a controller, because we all know that a mouse is more precise.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any problems dominating the field right now. So I love it. It's fun. What I should do is put it on the PS4 here and play it that way and just stream it on this. But I'm enjoying it on the PC. So maybe one day.
Yeah, right on, man. Right on. Definitely.
Maybe I can get Tuck Tyler into playing with me.
I think he plays on Xbox.
Of course he does.
So I don't know if there's any sort of
no crossplay
whatsoever with that. Huh?
Not currently. They're working on it.
Well,
but I think it will only be. They don't want to crossplay PC with consoles because of the mouse. It is known throughout all first-person shooters that the mouse is the superior device when it comes to shooting games. So they don't want to put somebody with they call them a Twitch player,
mm-hmm.
with a controller, because you're not going to keep up with somebody that is a Twitch player. Basically, they literally they move. We're talking 3 or 4 millimeters, and it's spinning them almost 360 degrees around. There's some crazy people, crazy people.
But when they do crossplay, and you said then they will. It'll definitely be Xbox.
Should be Xbox and PlayStation.
Well, PlayStation, it's a very strict rules, and it's on a per title basis, because there's a new NBA 2K Playgrounds 2. It's kind of like a big head NBA Jam type game.
Yeah,
that is now crossplay via through PC, Xbox One, and the Switch. No PlayStation yet. So
I'm gonna look up what the cross stream cross-platform date. All right, you can go ahead. I'll interject.
Oh, well, I have nothing else to add about the Epic Games. There's something else before we get into the other news. Quick thing about Anthem. Now, we've talked about the whole BioWare thing together.
Yes.
About their kind of flop of a live stream. That they didn't want to answer any questions. It just kind of sat there and played a game, or played the Stronghold that had already been released. So people had already played it, and it was kind of pointless. And anyway, this article here is from segmentnext.com. I never even heard of this website, but I was trying to find a website that talked about this, because I'd heard about it. BioWare's Anthem continues to struggle as the players are now facing matchmaking problems in the game. This is because of the constant decrease in the number of active players in Anthem. Forbes. What is Forbes doing, getting into all this video game stuff all of a sudden? Am I the old guy? Am I that dude now that's like, I'm like 30-something years old, I'm 32 going on 33, and like I'm the dude that's like, Forbes? I thought that was for like rich folks. Anyway, Forbes reported the issue, this issue recently, saying that the interest in the game is decreasing at a very high rate because BioWare is delaying most of its features from its Anthem 90-day roadmap. Because of this, active players of Anthem are now finding it hard to find players in the game, since the game comes with independent matchmaking for almost every activity in the game. Anthem is now struggling to match players with a full team for various activities and difficulties. In addition to that, the problem arises the most when you are doing activities or missions on higher difficulty.
That's my problem.
This results in players starting a mission without a full team, and the worst thing is that there's not any players added once the mission begins, leaving you stuck inside all on your own. That is something you won't want to happen, as some missions on higher difficulty are impossible to be done alone by a single player. Note what was said. All those months and over a year, this game is, you guys can play it by yourself entirely. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
Once you get, so like I am at the Grandmaster 2 level. Like I am a nice steady Grandmaster 2 level where I I can do Grandmaster 3, but I'm just barely in that cusp. Grandmaster 2, it like doubles their health or something ridiculous. And I'm playing a dude that's hitting for 20,000 splash damage. And I cannot solo this. 22,000 splash
That
damage.
sounds so ridiculous. That sounds like something you hear in Splatoon.
Well, I say splash damage because splash damage is area of effect, it explodes, splash damage.
Right.
So like
right.
I have
I know.
my storm is a fireball. He throws a fireball, and when he's maxed out, he hits for 22,000 average. And yeah, it's sometimes I throw one and I'm down before it even hits the ground. So, and I have pretty good shit on. So I was disappointed. I stopped playing it due to the fact that I can't even play at that level by myself.
Continuing on in the article, another issue is that playing on higher difficulties in Anthem, such as Grandmaster 2 and Grandmaster 3, is very little of use. GM2 and GM3 also require a full team to play, so everyone is just staying away. Furthermore, the time required to complete the missions on higher difficulty takes 2 or 3 times greater than that required on lower difficulty. It's the reason why players are now just replaying missions on lower difficulties. Therefore, finding teammates on higher difficulties is now increasingly hard to do so. We can do nothing but hope that BioWare does something to resolve the matchmaking issues in the game. This can be achieved by increasing rewards and loot on higher difficulties and to attract players and resolve the lack of players. This can also be one of Anthem's issues that BioWare is now prioritizing to solve first instead of releasing new content. Looking at the current situation of the game, there will be soon no players left to test out the features of the game despite the announcement of the PC test server. Anthem is not dead, but apparently there's nothing that Electronic Arts and BioWare can do to revive the game.
So, one of the biggest problems is loot. As they were told on their live stream, fix loot. We shouldn't be running the same mission and I get nothing. On Grandmaster 3, I should be getting really high loot tables for really rare shit, and I'm getting blues. I've literally sank 100+ hours into this game because I enjoy the combat. It's fun. It's the best Iron Man game ever.
Yeah, right.
It's so much fun to fly around and it's all seamless. It's really fun, but it's sad there's parts where you're flying and there's nothing. There's nothing on the ground. There's nothing around you. The environment's pretty, but there's just voids. Story blows. It blows. I can't butter it up. It blows. The fact that I spent 100 hours to get stuff that I should have got within the first 5 minutes, absolutely freaking ridiculous. Why are you? Oh yeah, do this table. It makes it sound like you're gonna get something cool. Here's story we should have gave you when you first walked into the world.
That kind of reminds me. That kind of reminds me of of me being like the way you say that, and this is like the third or fourth time that you've said it. Maybe not on the air, but at least to me, it reminds me of every time that I would say watch the movie first for Final Fantasy 15 because of how bad I got that within the first 30 seconds of the movie, you find out who and what the Empire is. Meanwhile, when you start the game, you're just like, oh, the Empire attacked and killed your dad. Who are the Empire?
It's just poorly set up. Like I said, fun game, but you make it hard. You're making it hard for reasons I understand. You want people to play. You want people to continuously grind out. It's a grindy game. That's what they are. That's fine. It's just like Destiny. It's a grindy game. But you are not giving hardly any rewards for those that are grinding. I don't understand it. You got to help us out here. And people are leaving for the fact that it's just not good. You're not helping them out. You're leaving them sitting, going. You said you were going to fix stuff and make it better for players, but no player likes what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why are we doing a live stream about something that's already out? You should be showing us like a week before. Here's the new stronghold, guys. This is what it looks like. This is how it runs. And not being disrespectful to your viewers by saying, yeah, we're not going to answer your questions. Don't do a live stream if you're not available to answer questions.
Right.
You know what the big topic is. You look at your forums, you know people are pissed about loot.
And they spammed it. They spammed the crap out of it.
You gotta have at least a statement prepared for this. You've got to be prepared. Look, we know the loot's a problem. Even if it's like you're working on it, like we're in discussions about fixing it, but you got to give them something. We're not going to answer that. Well, we realize BioWare. You have realized BioWare that you cannot disrespect your fans this way because they are going to run you through the mud thoroughly.
Don't and BioWare has been on a steady stream of regression.
Yes.
Ever since the acquiring of BioWare from EA. And I'm not going to put all the blame on EA on that. Some, sure, especially with all the crap with Frostbite and all that kind of crap.
I feel like I can because a lot of people have left because of EA's acquisition.
Sure.
So when that happens, they're like, I don't want to be a part of this. They're already applying pressure in places, and people are like, nope, I don't want to deal with this. I can go somewhere else and have less crap in my own timetable and not a shortened timetable as EA is known to do.
When EA acquired BioWare, 2 games were in development. They were making 2 games. Mass Effect 2, Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age Origins came out in November. Mass Effect 2 came out in the end of January. Those were the last games, and it shows because those games are amazing. The next 2 games that came out after that, Dragon Age 2, Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 3 was a lot of that storyline wise was already done. Because it was a trilogy. But it definitely shows that they were under the gun to get it done. And so it's okay, a lot of people hate Mass Effect 3 because of the ending. I thought the gameplay was great. I think the ending works, and it's better with the extended cut. They went to motions to fix the problem without rewriting the ending, and I'm like, all right, fine. As a game, I love it. It's great. I love the trilogy. It's fine. After that, we had one little rising thing, Inquisition, right? Dragon Age Inquisition. It kind of came back up. It's like, hey guys, we're a thing again. It's like, wow, this is glimpses of the old BioWare. Nothing since then. It's been barren. Mass Effect Andromeda, that doesn't even count because it's not even BioWare, right?
I didn't turn my light on.
Dude, it's fine. You look fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm already in motion.
God damn it, now you're going to change everything. Ah!
There. See? Oh, it's fine. I'm looking, I'm going, why am I so yellow?
It was fine. And now you're too white.
Well, fine. I'll turn it off.
There you go. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I have my light because I can't have room because I brought the Xbox One back here to play Shadow of the Tomb Raider by myself so I can get some alone time one day last week. And brought it back here, and I can't I didn't want to put it on the floor in case he or the missus came in and it opened the door and knocked the light over because I don't want to break the light. So it is leaning like this up against my old retro TV, shining halfway against the wall. But I just tested it to see how it looked because I haven't liked how white. I was messing with my settings last week. I haven't liked how overwashed I was, right? And that's kind of what I thought that yours was. Is it brightens you and lightens you, but it's a little too white, a little too washed. Well, so maybe for your light, I would suggest facing it instead of on you, maybe just off a little bit because
it's pointing that way.
Well, maybe the reflection from the wall too is kind of bouncing back. I don't know.
I just think you're crazy.
I might be, but I think my lighting looks a lot better this week.
It looks good.
I got a little shadow back here, but I don't care. It's fine.
Mine's yellow.
Yeah. Well, it actually, I don't think it looks bad. It's fine. It's fine.
It's yellow.
It's fine.
I don't like the yellow.
It's fine.
It bothers me.
All right. So it's PlayStation. We have a PlayStation leak.
PS5 leak.
No.
What do we got?
PlayStation 4 Super Slim leak? Sony is planning to release a PlayStation 4 Super Slim sometime between September and November of this year, according to a leak. It's quite possible to happen since Sony did the same thing with the PS3 by launching a Super Slim version of the console near the end of its cycle. However, nothing is officially confirmed. Like with the PS3 version, a PS4 Super Slim is going to reduce the measurements of PS4 Slim again. Moreover, the price will be further reduced to allow everyone to get their hands on Sony's console before PS5 arrives. According to the leak, the upcoming Super Slim model of the PS4 will arrive later this year, and its retail price is going to be 199 euros, and we know there's parity, so it's about $200, which is less than the current model, which is less than the current price of the PlayStation Slim model. The price can possibly be reduced by decreasing the system storage that the console is going to offer. I hope they don't. But the built-in processor of the Super Slim is manufactured with the and now this is all gibberish to me. 7nm process compared to the 16nm process of the Slim. It was 7-M. I don't know any of this crap. The processor's die size is mentioned to be.
Where are you finding this at?
This
I'm not
is
finding that.
This is on. I typed in PlayStation 4 Super Slim link. This is on segmentnext.com. The built-in processor, Super Slim, blah 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 blah. The only time will tell if the rumor's true, but it would be surprising. As for the consumers, it makes sense to grab the Super Slim version of the console, as Mark Sony's has Sony's dude that's helped making the PS4. He's helping make the PS5. Said that the transition from PS4 to PS5 will be gentle, meaning that the games will arrive on both platforms, and you won't be missing out on anything for the first few years. Keeping in mind that the rumors of the PS5 being very expensive in mind, it's better to grab a new model of the PS4 if you're low on cash. In terms of games, the PS4 will be able to play such games like Days Gone, Last of Us Part 2, and Ghost of Tsushima, and Death Stranding, as well as the entire library that is already out. If the leak is genuine, we hope the PS4 Super Slim will be at an affordable price and be somehow less noisy compared to the current versions of the console. Also, no word yet on a PS4 Pro Slim or anything like that. I can kind of see it happening. I can kind of see them doing it. Why? And that's because the PS4 is approaching 100 million consoles sold. This console, and any time that you have a console that is this breathable, of course they're looking at PS5 to kind of take that over, but they're also looking at that transition period that, well, probably for the first 5 years, there's still going to be people who have not even yet got all the way in and may not be able to afford some of the higher things at the PS5. That does worry me just a tad because it reminds me of the PS2 to PS3 era.
Right.
And of course the PS2 just kept rocking for years. And then finally, I remember Persona 4 came out in 2008, on the PS2. But I mean, one reason for that is the whole Japan deal, where you had, just like with the PS4, a lot of people have PS2s, so we're gonna put it on the PS2 because there's way more PS2s out there than there are PS3s after only 2 years being out.
Right.
But I could see it happening. Basically making it cheaper and having it be like, guys, this holiday season, get your PS4 for $180, and it comes bundled with this game. It comes bundled with that game, and have that model eventually, just like the PS3, replace the current Slim model that's out. Of course, if you want that sort of 4K that the PS4 offers with the games, well, you want the PS4 Pro. But, obviously at some point...
Let me tell you what, guys. You don't need it.
No.
You don't need it because there's only one game that I've ever noticed, and that is Gran Turismo Sport. That's the only one where I'm like, okay, this definitely looks better. It may run a little bit faster and smoother, but to be honest, I wish I never would have got one.
Now, I'm actually happy I did go for that because I've actually noticed a difference between playing back here on my TV and playing in on my living room. Now, I have my normal PS4 back here, right?
Well, you do. Yeah, you're super sampling,
Yes, and
and it works great on a 1080p.
Yes.
But I'm on
sure,
4K, hoping to get 2K quality, and
buddy, that super sampling that I did for Resident Evil 2,
it looks good.
and for God of War, man,
It looks good.
man,
It really does. I'm not going to argue that it doesn't look good.
And the crazy
I'm
thing,
just
I wanted to see kind of how good Red Dead looked, but I got it for the Xbox because I have the other Red Dead. Like I'm weird like that. I got Red Dead Redemption physical. That way I could have the original and the undead on physical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I had Red Dead on PS3, and then I downloaded the Undead Nightmare DLC. But I'm a physical collector, so when I got the physical for 360, I'm like, I'll just get Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Xbox. And I have the original Xbox One. It is literally the worst version to play graphically, on a base model, and it still looked jaw-dropping. It was crazy how good that game looked. But as far as a PS4 Slim goes, I could definitely see it happening. I could see them at some point coming out, probably later after E3. It's like, hey guys, here's the PS5 announcement or whatever, because we know that there's going to be something coming out from their camp if they want to, kind of like how they did the PS4 Pro, like their own little event thing or whatever.
Yeah, it says maybe at the state of play.
Yeah, right.
So you're talking about Red Dead. We were talking about graphics. So I was like, Grand Theft Auto 5 is on PC. When is Red Dead Redemption 2 coming to PC? It's the article I'm reading says that they hope to hear about it in 2019, sometime this year. But they do plan on doing it. Imagine this game. I'm not a Red Dead fan, but imagine this game with the mod support that GTA 5 has on PC.
Absolutely.
It'll be insane to see what you'll see.
Oh, I know.
And it'll be awesome. And I might pick it up and I might play it then.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Because then I can play first person with. I'm big on. I spent all this money on this thing. I'm going to use it.
Dude, I know you're not a Western guy, and that's what holds you back from it. But that game was an experience. Like, it was different. It was I
refuse to play it until I play Red Dead Redemption. All the way through story. Yeah, I will have to play it in that order because I cannot do that. I cannot start in something and not get all the little things. I can't do that. I've got to know what every little thing means.
Right. Well, and you'll definitely appreciate it more. And because then I almost would not recommend going from Red Dead 2 to Red Dead 1.
That's exactly why.
Because there is a difference in control. I played a little bit of Red Dead 1 when I was testing out PlayStation Now, and it was like, whoa, this feels way different than I remember. And then when Red Dead 2 came out, it's like the controls are so tight, and they've really, and of course, when they made GTA 5, everything felt pretty decent. Like the driving felt good, the gunplay felt good. It was all dialed in. And then of course with Red Dead 2, gunplay is like the biggest part of the game, other than riding horses. So
yeah,
it had to feel good, and for the most part, it does. It is a Rockstar game in that big open world, so it's not perfect. And by perfect sake,
but Grand Theft Auto has made adjustments to make it better.
Sure. And Red Dead's even better. And then, of course, I did play the first-person mode just to try it out, and it works. It's not like you're playing Call of Duty or anything like that, but it does work. It feels weird to me, but, I mean...
I don't think that I played that when we played. I might have popped in, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, you didn't spend a lot of time with that, but...
my thing was trying to get used to playing the game because I never played it before, and a lot of the buttons had multiple
They do.
functions,
They
and I
do.
was confused.
It does. If you start from the beginning and they ease you in, you know, like when you play Red Dead 1, man, it's almost like I don't want you to play them back to back because you're going to get so used to how Red Dead 1 works, and then it's going to feel a certain way to you, and that's going to be
Yep.
right. And then you go to Red Dead 2 and you're like, "No, that's not how you do this." And it
Yep.
actually is now because they've actually improved it enough
That it is better.
that it is better. Speaking of PlayStation, Days Gone came out last week,
Yes.
and debuted at #1 in the UK charts, beating out Mortal Kombat 11.
That surprises me. Mortal Kombat 11 has got a lot of good hype in it.
Yeah, and Days Gone kind of has some like in the middle reviews.
Iffy.
Like they're not. I haven't seen. Now here's the thing. Okay, I think we live in a very bad time for reviews, not only with video games but with movies and television. That if it doesn't score an 8 to 10, it's bad.
Yeah.
You know, I have seen average scores for Days Gone about 7. I've seen it 6.5. You know, and next to the review it says okay or good, right?
Right.
And then when you get up to the 8s, 9s, 10s, it's amazing, great, you know, astonishing, epic, you know. So,
And I feel like that's the right terminology for that. Good is like a 7 to 8, 6. I would say 7 to 8.5 is good, and then anything from 8.5 to a 9 to 9.3 is amazing, and then anything past that is whatever your favorite word is for that, because it's just like The Last of Us. That's a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
Not even close to ever being on my radar. And then I played it and I'm like, wow, this is a phenomenal story, phenomenal game. Everything about it was perfectly dialed in, especially for a new IP.
Yeah. And it sucks for this grading system because it's like people be like, if it's a 6.5 or a 7, you're like, don't buy this game. Why? You know, why say that? You know, why automatically put it as a negative if it doesn't quite hit it out of the park? You know, a base hit or a double sometimes is a good enough, I can understand maybe waiting not at $60 or even going out and getting the collector's edition, but like, I really don't like that because anytime that people see it, oh, it's a 6.5 or a 7. I'm not going to buy it then. That's not why I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it is because I have to make smart choices with my money right now.
I am not buying it because I'm waiting for a certain game to come out that still doesn't give me a release date.
We all have things on the horizon. I have a new kid coming, and
Yes.
I am not looking at any games. I would love to pick up some games this year. I want to pick up Outer Worlds. I don't know if I will be able to. A Cyberpunk might come out this year. That's kind of up my alley in terms of theme, not in gameplay. It's first person. I'm gonna be like, this is out of my element, but I like the theme. I like the visuals. I want to see what this world is.
It does look like a freaking cool world, doesn't it?
Yes. And so it's like
it's like Back to the Future 2 mixed with a bunch of
Blade Runner.
It looks Blade Runner, yeah.
And it's like it's completely different. Nothing looks like that. And that's why, I also loved getting into Red Dead last year is because there are no Westerns in the gaming. And so it's like, well, let's get away from all this military space shit and let's go back.
Hey, I like that.
I love space shit too. I love it. But it's cool to go to something else, and like, while, futuristic, sure, but it's that dystopia feel where it's like the future, but shitty. And I like the look and feel. I'm more open to first person stuff now, so I'm looking at like really want to get into it. If it comes out this year, I might be fucked because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it. Because you know how expensive one kid is, I'm gonna have two, and I gotta feed the other one. I gotta feed both of them. So I don't know as far as games goes. I'm really glad to see that Days Gone is selling well. It doesn't seem like it's going to be probably a huge hit for Sony, but it is out. I've watched gameplay of it. I would love to pick it up, and I probably will pick it up down the line. Microphone didn't pick that up, but I just heard somebody on a crotch rocket barrel down my street. Now, here's the thing. There's a stop sign to stop sign, and they go, wah, just to have to slow down.
Yep.
That my street is not good enough to open it up, man.
It's not. It's the sound. That's what they like, the sound of it, because you can just do first gear and just. It's fun. I'm not gonna lie. I had a crotch rocket. I like it. I'm not gonna judge them because I liked it. So.
Well, I judge them because my kid's in bed right now, and yes, it's only 7:30, but also we're trying to watch Game of Thrones, and it's like, dude, I get crotchety.
You get crotchy.
I get crotchety. So now we're going to shift gears. Boy, I'm just hitting the freaking puns.
You're all over it tonight.
Hitting the puns. We're going to talk about Nintendo. Retro Studios is hiring a bunch of people. What game are they working on? Metroid 4. They've been working on Metroid 4. They restarted it from scratch, especially since when Nintendo was making it and all that kind of stuff. So Retro Studios put out a tweet on the 26th, says we're hiring, and you can go check out all the stuff that they have there. They're based out of Austin, Texas. So if you happen to be a world-class developer and live in Texas, or maybe willing to relocate to Texas, better hop on those ASAP because you don't get it every day to just work on Metroid Prime 4. Michael put one in just to see what it's like right now. You'll go there. Wow, this is awesome. I'm gonna quit. Sorry, it's not.
I would just go there so they could be like, okay, sir. Like I would literally freaking just totally botch it and be like, yeah, I've been around in the gaming for 27 years. I'm only 34. So, like I'm just going to throw out this crazy stuff. They're like, all right, we're really interested. Come for an interview and just fly down there just to like walk through and be like, oh, Metroid, I'm home. So we see your resume. So yeah, I don't have any of that. Like no experiences whatsoever at all. I just want to be here. Okay.
Oh man.
I would.
That's like the Metroid version of Fanboys or something.
I would totally do that. I don't live close enough. Like we're talking 22 hours or something ridiculous, and I am not paying $800 plane ticket just to go there to probably get forcefully removed from the building and told never to come back. And then it would be sad if they said we're banning you from buying all Metroid products. I'd probably cry. I would cry.
You probably would.
I would.
You would.
Anyways.
Yeah, so that means that they're probably gearing up on production, trying to get this game done.
Something that you told me bothers me. Go ahead and state one of the biggest positions available.
Well, let me get on here. I'm actually just going to look it up, all right?
You know which position I'm talking about.
Yeah. I typed in Retro Studios jobs. So here is maybe because and here's the thing. Because I may have told you like the wrong thing this morning. I mean, it's just this morning, dude. You expect me to be awake? They are hiring for 63 positions.
Okay.
And so we have like level 1 tools. We have lead external environment artist, level 1 gameplay engineer, physics engineer, lead graphics engineer, lead cinematics artist, level 3 IT engineer, art director. Oh, hey. Product tester.
Yeah, but I don't want to play the same 27 steps 6 billion times.
So, as a product tester, develop and execute test plans to confirm developer requirements and discover defects in pre-release software. Create detailed reports of defects for development staff on a daily basis. Test and verify resolved defects to ensure quality control. Maintaining and updating development hardware for staff. Identify and execute testing and minimal guidance. Work closely with retro production and development staff to debug issues. assist in testing in-house tools used in development, ensures defects are properly tracked. This job requires outlines primary duties and requirements, and is not intended to identify all tasks that may be performed. Individuals occupying the position may be required to perform other duties, and the company may modify job duties from time to time, either in practice or in writing. Summary: 4 years of quality assurance experience required. Experience working on and shipping AAA titles required.
How many people are you gonna get from that?
Now, this is just for the product tester.
Hey, you know what? I hear EA's firing a bunch of people. Pick them up because they're always firing.
Oh my gosh! Well, I mean, yeah, they just laid off Blizzard just laid off
Blizzard.
300 people.
But those were tech associates for like what was that? Player help stuff.
Well,
They pretty much was like
excellent knowledge of the video game industry, working knowledge of video game development process, thorough knowledge of Nintendo and competitor products.
Jesus.
Ability to efficiently and effectively identify software problems. PC skills such as Excel, Word, Jira, Confluence, video capture software, etc. Understanding of technical libraries used in video game development. Excellent organizational and interpersonal skills required. Previous experience with file management, bug tracking, product testing required. This is a contract position.
So that means, see, when you read through all that stuff, that's an unbelievable amount of requirements just to be a tester, a bug tester, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But keywords in there, we can change your daily tasks at will.
Mm-hmm.
Any given time, we can say, okay, you're now going to be developing this. Now we need you to work on this. I hope you know what you're doing with this because we need you. It's like, no. That's too much.
That's like being the Retro Studios ARO.
Yeah, literally.
Like it is for
literally.
They also have lead character artists that they're hiring, lead cinematic artist, level IT engineer, physics engineer, lead cinematics art.
Like some of that kind of bothers me because, like outer environment guy. I don't remember what this position was, but outer environment specialist, design specialist. That bothers me because Prime 1, 2, and 3 have a kind of a similar style. And I was hoping, like a lot of fans are hoping that 4 kind of sticks to that style and doesn't go crazy. But
so Bethesda Game Studios is also hiring in the area, and they're looking.
We're looking for people to unfuck us. Like, if you have special skills to help unfuck us, we're more than happy to take you. What would that position be called? The unfuckery.
Oh, they're looking for an experienced producer to join our team. Producers work with all parts of the team to facilitate communication, solve problems, and remove anything getting in the way of other disciplines being able to work.
Good. Yeah, you just basically what we're saying is you're going to be the guy that's taking the fall for 76. That's what we want you to be. You are that guy.
Oh man. Responsibilities for this, and I'm sorry if this is really boring to you guys. This is really, really funny to me. Communicate with senior management and collaborate with discipline directors to solve problems and mitigate risk.
Mitigate risk. Look, guys. Basically, we want is for you to not fuck us over like the last guy who had a total information leak. Like everybody had everyone else's contact information.
Manage handoffs between your team and teams that are up and downstream. Prioritize open issue list based on quantifiable business justification. That's a lot of big words in one sentence. I felt so smart being able to say that without stuttering. That's awesome. Gather, interpret, and manage large volumes of data from many sources. Demonstrate either correlation or cause and effect between feature service changes and customer behavior.
You're literally, nobody's taking this job because you're inheriting a shit pile. They're just not gonna do it.
Oh.
I mean, come on. Their saving grace is the new Elder Scrolls, and what are we doing this year at E3? Not showing Elder Scrolls. Sorry, guys, we don't know of anything about it.
Proactively monitor and develop bug database and consumer feedback channels to identify potential future problems.
This is a horrible job. I don't want this job. What are the years of requirements? Like, what do you need to fill this role?
3 years of project management experience in online PC or console game development. Demonstrated ownership of individual and team success and/or failure.
Nope, nobody's getting this. Nobody's gonna put in for this. I'm so sorry. Bethesda, you need to repost this job under another name.
You have to be willing to accept your failure.
And the failures of everyone else around you. Literally, that you get in there and it's like, okay, the first one is you're going to be taking over Fallout 76. Yeah, I'm done. Bye.
You also need outstanding oral and written communication skills, excellent organizational skills, detail-oriented, and the ability to multitask under pressure. A strong familiarity with Bethesda Game Studio tiles, desired skills, strong technical background, familiarity with submission and publishing guidelines on major distribution platforms, experience working with remote development teams. Remote. How remote are these teams?
Right.
Experiencing managing the schedules and deliveries of third-party and external groups, experience in other disciplines of development. Well, that broke me, dude.
Being able to willingly accept the responsibility of the failure, or, well, it was the
your and your team's failure.
Yes.
So, I swore up and down we weren't going to dog on Bethesda this week, but I could not.
We did. We literally said that this episode we cannot dog on Bethesda, but here we are. We're so sorry, Bethesda.
Okay,
but really,
so
get your act together.
Literally, the whole Retro Studios hiring thing was a segue to be on topic with Nintendo, because the 3DS era is officially ending.
Yes.
Nintendo has confirmed that they have nothing new to announce, first party wise, coming to the Nintendo 3DS. Of course, here lately we've had a couple ports like Epic Kirby's Epic Yarn and stuff like that, and Luigi's Mansion coming to the 3DS. But while there's nothing new from Nintendo, there are still some new third party. As one of the biggest ones coming out this year, I guess, is Persona Q2.
And I'm sure it'll be supported for a few years because with the cartridge-based system, the format of those games cannot be that big of a difference between the Switch and the 3DS. So
it's just old though because it came out in 2011, yeah. And
at this point, though, I mean, your Switch is selling well enough that you can kind of integrate that. I mean, you're looking at having the first potentially the ability to sit at home and play Pokemon on your home television or take it to go is a big deal.
A lot of people are saying that Nintendo's supported the 3DS a lot longer than what they thought it would. I mean,
Yes.
we're nearing the ninth year.
How well did they do? Do you have the stats up?
Well, I just smacked my microphone.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
I mean, I have it right here.
Oh, you already have the total sales figures?
Yeah, the 3DS total of 3DS that includes original
The
3DS
3DS family.
It sold roughly 75 million units combined.
See, that's phenomenal for a handheld. I mean, you cannot ever. That's why they've supported it for so long, because it's done so well. So you don't want to not support something that's done that well. It's
Absolutely.
just like PS4 coming out with the Super Slim. Do they need to? No. But they are at the 100 million mark. They could potentially put this new console out and reach those other people that can't get up there for the PS4 Slims, which it's not really that big of a jump, but those that don't have it, or those that want another one in another room, can now pick that up for a cheaper price. So it's a great idea.
Well, like those that won't be able to afford a PS5 for a while, but also those that like you said, either need a replacement system and that kind of stuff, but it's also going to be cheaper to produce, so they can pocket more of that money, and they know that the PS4 is such a big hit that it's going to keep rolling out units, even if the numbers slow down. Say if they reach 100 million before that point, if they sell another 10 million consoles and pocket more of that money, that's more money coming into them.
Here's the thing for me: if that PS4 fried right now, the PS4 Pro I would not buy another one. I would buy the cheapest one that I could.
There you go.
Because I know that, yes, it's nice to have the extra processing, but I maxed out already on my memory. That's normal with any of those systems. I mean, the games are starting to get up into the 100 gigs error, and really you get a game and it's like, okay, cool, this is a 40 gig game. Guess what? Day 1 patch, 8 gigs. Day 28 patch, because people are finding problems. 12 gigs. Like, your games really are 60, 70, 80 gigs already. You just don't see the whole load coming at you. So I would not spend the money on another PS4 Pro. I would just go buy a Super Slim if they're available, or the regular Slim model, because it's 1 terabyte.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
and the PS5 is so close to being around the corner, I wouldn't want to drop another $400 to turn around next year and drop another $500. Like, I'm not going to do that. I would probably buy a used PS4 first.
Yeah, well, especially if there's something that you wanted to play before you can actually get the 5, so it's going to be reverse compatible.
Right. And that's the thing, is like, I already have another PS4 downstairs that we use basically as a media hub. Yeah. So I have no reason to spend that extra money.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a big event, because with them starting to pretty much lay the 3DS to rest, and it's a good run. It has a massive library of great games that are still too expensive, but
yeah, you're right.
I'm keeping it real, man. I mean, Nintendo stuff just don't go down. It takes a while, but
look at Bravely Default.
Word.
Still, the original Bravely Default is $40.
I know.
And how old is it? I would have to get up and go look.
A couple years. It's a good couple years old.
I think Bravely Default 2 was cheaper for a little bit. I honestly think that it was.
Do you remember when Majora's Mask came out and Ocarina of Time shot up to like $90 or something like that?
Yeah, for the used price. That's all because of GameStop.
I know. They're dying here soon. Speaking of dying, the internet is dying right now due to the release of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer. Now, you and me watched this at work, and
I don't think it's that bad.
You know what's fun? You and me are the only ones that aren't hating on this.
So I definitely agree with this art style of Sonic. It should be changed. Should be more like
How he looks
like
in the games.
like he doesn't have to be fluffy. Okay, he's a freaking hedgehog. It's
So
supposed to be sharp and slick.
somebody on Twitter is like being like,
Totally like.
well, he's freaking out over Sonic's teeth.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He has human teeth, and it does look weird when you notice it.
Yeah, I saw the IGN had a thing on it, like putting Sonic's teeth on other characters. It has like all this. It doesn't matter to me on stupid details like that. I liked that Jim Carrey was Dr. Robotnik because all he was quips. That's all he was a quip. Just boom, 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 boom. Wait, who's in charge? Who are you? Nobody freaking cares. Like, I love that, but I don't know. I would have to watch. I'm gonna watch it regardless because it's Sonic.
Sure. You know what? I'm
I
not
hope
gonna.
it doesn't fail.
Right. I most of the internet personalities as far as gaming goes are already really really against it, and it was really weird for it to start with Gangster's Paradise. That was a little weird.
That was it. That was the whole thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was all Gangsta's Paradise.
But it was just, it does. I'm withholding judgment. I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other. I'm not gonna go out and rage. I love Sonic, but I'm not gonna get all upset about it. I'll reserve judgment until I see it. I'm not gonna go to the theater and see it.
No.
So therefore, it's probably going to fail, because I guarantee you there's a lot of people who would think that, like even the people who aren't hating on it. But it's meh to me.
Yes.
I named our stream, and I'm not sure if that's going to be the name of the episode, but I named the stream title Sonic the Mehdgehog.
Meh.
Yeah, meh. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. And I mean, I like some of the whole Paramount thing. Instead of the stars, it was the rings. I'm like, that's cool.
That was really cool. I really enjoyed that.
That was neat. Now Sega. Now this is the last thing we have for today.
Are you sure?
I think so, unless you have something else.
Go ahead.
Sega is releasing the Genesis Mini, known as the Mega Drive Mini if you're in Europe. And, of course, we already have a Sega Genesis Classic made by At Games. I've also heard somebody quip that said the movie's being made by At Games. Of course, At Games was the maker of the newer Genesis hardware, which is completely awful. But this one's being made by the actual staff themselves, and will cost about $80. But it will feature 40 games. And the first games that were released or revealed were, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Space Harrier 2, Shining Force, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Toe Jam and Earl, Comic Zone, Altered Beast, and Gunstar Heroes. And just recently, and when I mean by recently, as in like probably not that long ago, but probably a little bit longer, because I've kind of forgot to talk about this. The 10 more games have been announced, such as Sonic the Hedgehog 2, go figure, Earthworm Jim, Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse, and World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. And of course, there's going to be more games to come. So it's going to release on September 19th this year. And it unlike the At Games version, it's not going to play cartridges, which is fine. It's fine as long as these games, this was basically the one that should have been out before. But of course, At Games messed it up because that's what At Games do.
All right, so there is one more thing, because what's the date today? The 1st of the month. So what do we have today?
Oh, we have new games.
Plus, and we have the Xbox and PlayStation Plus games. So PlayStation Plus, I have it up. Month of May, Overcooked is free for the PS4, and What Remains of Edith Finch.
Okay.
4, Games of Gold. Right now, Outcast is good, available till the 15th. But Marooners and for the Xbox One, and Earth Defense Force,
Okay.
Insects Armageddon for the 360 is available 5/1 to 5/15. Now available 5/16 till the 31st is Comic Jumper.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. That is just says arcade.
Okay.
And then for the Xbox One game which is available 5/16 to 6/15 because they have a games that are for the whole month, but they start on the 16th and on the 15th. It's weird.
Yeah.
Is the Golf Club 2019
featuring PGA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
not a great month, but I mean, there's a few things in there that are worth. But definitely go pick up your free games if you're a subscriber to either one of those or both.
Yes, I will be picking up Edith Finch. I actually wanted to see what that game was, so cool. I get it for free now.
Now there are a few other games that I missed for the Sega Genesis Mini. They're actually the full half 20 games have been revealed, and
oh really?
Yeah. So all the ones that I mentioned before, but including that, it also is Thunder Force 3, Super Fantasy Zone, Shinobi 3, Streets of Rage 2, Contra Hardcore, and Landstalker.
Never played that one.
So Contra, Hardcore, that's like the Sega version of Contra.
Yeah.
Just like how Castlevania Bloodlines, it's the Castlevania for Sega.
Right.
And now those are original games for that console. So, not a bad list so far. I'm looking forward to seeing what is still to come. I'm hoping for a Phantasy Star 4. Great game with that one. Probably the best out of the series, in my opinion. But then you also, you could include the other ones, too, if you wanted. And then also, there's a lot of other stuff on Genesis you could do. Me, personally, I would be looking at, like, a Mortal Kombat on there.
Sonic 3D Blast.
But, the Super Nintendo got Street Fighter. So, if I'm Sega, I'm going Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah, and definitely... See, there's so many Sonic games that were good then. Like, you got Sonic Spinball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no reason why that can't be on there. You own it.
Right, yeah.
Like, I think that... I get you don't want to oversaturate your system, but I think that you could do a larger library, but include more of, basically do Sonic all the way through to 3D Blast, because that was Sonic 1 through 3D Blast.
Mm-hmm.
That includes Spinball, Mean Machine, which you already have Mean Machine, but all of that on there. And then obviously Echo the Dolphin, Echo 2. Those are your big ones that everybody knows that is a Sega game in that era.
Well, some of the big games for me personally, Castle of Illusion's a great game.
Right.
Great game. A Comic Zone, really.
Yes,
unique,
that was what I was going to mention.
Really unique beat 'em up. It's completely different. Altered Beast is old. I don't care for that as much. Altered Beast, it's okay. I like it. Yeah, it's fine. But
Golden Axe.
Golden Axe. That's what I was going to say. More than Altered Beast, I like Golden Axe better.
Why is that should be on there?
I bet it will. I bet it will be.
It has to be. It's one of the big classics of that system.
I bet it will be. But that's all I got, man. That's all I got for this week here on the show. Yeah, that's about it. It's a little bit of it's that time of year where the news kind of lulls down a little bit because we're approaching E3.
Everybody tight lips.
Yeah, kind of like and then there might be some leaks. Or there might be some.
One thing we forgot to mention today that was big. Borderlands 3.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
A lot of information on Borderlands 3. Get out there. We have not had a chance to check that out yet. No. I know that I have not had a chance because it's a 2.5-hour stream. I don't have time. We just got home at 4:30. Yeah. Started the stream at 6-ish. So we didn't have the ability to really look at it.
I know. I
digest it.
Yeah, no. I saw some screenshots. That's about it. So.
I saw a lot of screenshots. New hunters, new abilities. The new Sanctuary 3 is your spaceship to bounce back and forth with planets. Obviously, if you are following this at all, This time your vaults are going to be on different planets, so you will get to travel. It'll be cool. But it really looks neat. It has that Borderlands unique style to it, and from what I've read, it is the essence of Borderlands, but new. So it's everything that it needed to be Borderlands. You know, your art style, your the way that the crazy stuff that happens in there, the buggy, you get a mobile vehicle. They've added a little bit to it. It looks like, and it keeps the core essence of Borderlands, but it makes it fresh and new from what everybody is saying. That's watched the stream that I've seen about it. So I hope that it's good. I mean, Borderlands 2 is fun. It's a blast to play. But that's all I really had to add.
Well, I mean, we'll definitely look and see if there's anything to really talk about next week's for next week's show. And as I was saying, there's always leaks leading up to E3. There's like little, even early announcements. They want to just, a lot of times they'll just do a trailer like they did for Fallout 4 when they said, "Here's the announced trailer," and then like at E3 they just dive a lot deeper into it. So who knows? We have E3 coming up. It's probably within the next month and a half or so. It'll be exciting to see what comes of that because there's no PlayStation this year, and Xbox is promising to hit strong.
Yeah, I mean, I think PlayStation has already been waiting to hit strong this year, regardless of that. They've picked up a lot of new studios. They've done a lot of new stuff. So I think that they were already going to have a phenomenal show. It just makes it better for them that Sony's like, yeah, we're pulling out.
Oh, you said PlayStation instead of Xbox.
Oh, my bad.
Freudian slip.
Xbox has acquired all these new studios, and they have already set themselves up for a phenomenal show this year because they're going to show you what those, 7 studios now? 7
I don't
or
know how
8
many
studios they picked
few.
up. There's a lot. Yeah. But they're going to show that they've got. I think they're going to do new hardware. I mean, we're getting close to new hardware. We're getting leaks and people saying, "Well, my system is better than yours," and PlayStation 5 leaks their stuff. So somebody goes, "Yeah, ours is more powerful." It's down to that time where we're going to get a new console, but I'm really excited to see what Xbox is bringing. It sounds like they are doing what we said they were going to do and focusing more on play everywhere. So like more stuff is becoming available on PC, stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what they have, but it helps them that Sony's like, yeah, we're out.
Oh, absolutely. It does just by default.
Yeah.
by default, by Sony not even showing up, it automatically puts a bigger light on Xbox. But
now, do you think that people will be saying, doing the, well, who won this year? When now you really don't have that because, I mean, there'll be something about it, but it won't be as like, who had the better, like Sony and Xbox going at it again. That it's not there.
No.
And Nintendo's never really cared about being in the race. They're just like, yeah, we're Nintendo. We do whatever we want.
No, it's going to have a different feel this year for sure because typically those two do like to go kind of head to head with theirs. And I mean, as far as like, not every year do they really seem like they're out to get each other, but just for the PS4 and Xbox One year when they got revealed, and Xbox One got crickets and PS4 got cheers. There was that year, but I mean, and then it's always interesting. But then this year it's going to be like, what's Bethesda even doing? EA, what are you guys messing up this year?
Yeah.
Ubisoft, what do you guys got cooking?
Ubisoft's kind of they've come out of their little funk here, and they're starting to rise up a little bit. They've got a couple of new games out that look interesting. They've got obviously Odyssey did great.
Mm-hmm. And they're doing another one. The rumor is that they're guess what? They're doing another Assassin's Creed. What? But
no way, you're lying to me.
I know, but the rumor is that this one could be Viking themed.
That would be cool.
Different, right? Well, and apparently, the last two, Origins and Odyssey, have both been Assassin's Creed games at the core, just kind of different in general. Like they're still Assassin's Creed, but they're a different gameplay a little bit with the different Yeah, I mean, with the Egypt and then with the Greek, it's just a different concept with that. And then, of course, adding in more RPG elements, making it essentially Assassin's Creed meets Witcher.
Right.
It's like part of me wants to grab it and get it, and the other part of me is like, do I want to sit there for this whole time for this? I don't know. It's not that I'm against it. I'm really happy for it because I've loved the series. It's been great. But I just kind of like had enough of it for a while, and maybe one day I will because I love history. So it's like
Right.
I love Egypt. I love the Greeks. Why wouldn't I want that?
Right.
It's like the same reason why I even got into it to begin with. But that's it, man. That's all I got for this week. Thank you
That's all I
guys.
got.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us this week for this episode of the Game Addicts podcast as we just chilled out and had a big laugh once again at Bethesda's expense. Definitely the highlight of the show for me.
Bethesda, I would love to stop laughing and complaining at your expense. Please, please, tell me you were lying and show me.
2 years ago, we never would have thought this was possible.
No, not at all. Like, I want to see some Elder Scrolls and I want to see some Starfield, which you've already stated are not going to be here this year. So it's like, what are you going to show me? What do you got to show me?
Check out Elder Scrolls Blades on your phone.
Right, which you can right now play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, but thank you guys so much for checking out this episode. If you did, thank you for joining us. We are live each and every single Wednesday on our Twitch at twitch.tv/GameAddictsPlay and on our Facebook page as well at Game Addicts Play. And we're Game Addicts Play on all of our social media as well on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to check us out on the podcast form, on the audio version, we're pretty much everywhere that you can be. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google, Podbean, and check out GameAddictsPodcast.com. That is the Podbean site right there with links there as well. Of course, our YouTube channel, everything goes live, audio and video goes up there, as well as our gameplay stuff that we do when we do it, and hopefully we'll do somewhere soon. Mike included. He's talking about streaming some Apex, so maybe that will happen sooner than later.
Maybe Mike's been talking about streaming a lot.
Dude,
he
it's
gets
hard.
in there and he's got stuff set up. He literally has everything set up, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this today," and then he just starts playing.
With work here lately, it's been so hard. I made everything ready for me to start my Resident Evil retrospective, and I'm just like, I want to get home and sleep.
My thing is like with Apex, like what do I do? There's not a whole lot to chit chat about. It's
you just
I'm
play.
just gonna sit and play, and you're gonna sit me play.
We'll play, have fun, commentate, and
I don't have to commentate other than "fuck you, you son of a bitch! I become mother." You know.
Well, that's what you say when you play.
I'm just saying. I really
laugh.
just usually just go, "Damn it," and move on. Like I'm not an entertaining gamer to watch.
I always feel weird, dude, when I'm sitting there like this, and I'm just like,
yep,
mouth open, looking at like, yeah.
Plus, I don't want people to see like when I'm really focusing in, and then somebody hits me from behind.
Jump.
Yeah, I jump a lot because it's that thing. There's people everywhere, so you're so like.
What we need to do is get you on stream doing the VR.
No.
I told you this idea once, where we need to do a stream where it's called like Watch Mike Puke. Where
nobody wants to watch me puke.
Oh man.
And if you do, you're no friend of mine.
Anyway, thank you for joining me this week, Mike. It's been great. A really good way to wind down the day. And also a quick reminder that I'm going to be on Game of King Chair over on Podcastrophe. Search Podcastrophe feed. Search their feed on the same stuff that we're on almost, except for a few, Apple Podcasts and all that kind of stuff. Until next time, Mike. I've been Brando.
And I have been Mike, which you just stated.
Well, I said it to you, and I was just like doing the closing. Yeah, I've been Brando,
and I have been Mike.
We'll see you guys next week. Game on, have fun, play games. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, me too.